Time.
And we're live!
And we are live.
StreamYard is a little quirky, a little weird. It went from like only one person chatting, and then all of a sudden, all these other people saying hello just popped up.
So if you guys don't know, we are streaming both on YouTube and Facebook. Thought we'd make it easier access for everyone. So if you are in the comments and we're responding to someone and you don't see their comment, it is because they are also on Facebook.
Yep.
So just to let you know, hello, Kiwi girl, how are you? I know it's your time differential is way off.
Vast.
So thank you for hanging out with us.
Kiwi girl, how
Why are you?
Sorry.
Why do you always do that?
Sorry. You know. Sorry.
Hi, Sarah, Leanna, Jim, Taylor, Bob, Laura, Tom King, hello, and hello, Tracy. I think that's everybody on here. I think it'll catch up here in just a second.
Yes.
So yeah, it's so good to see everybody. How's everybody doing today? I've missed y'all.
Yes, it's been a week. We haven't really done a lot of. We haven't done any videos this week, and it's purposeful. And also, I don't know, lack of planning.
No, it's not really lack of planning. It's just, we did a lot to take care of our, unboxing videos and everything like that. And then we're getting back into the swing of things. So, when your schedule changes and you have to readjust, some things have to wait a minute. So we don't have to stack everything up on top of each other. So we're not living a super stressed out life. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Yep.
So we do have some stuff scheduled.
We get back on track on Saturday.
Yes. So thank you guys for your patience with us. Hope you guys are doing great.
Yeah.
We've got more people coming on. That's awesome. So,
Kelly from Valley Springs, California. California is like our most watched state in the United States. It's like 15% of our views comes from California. I didn't know if you knew that.
I did not. I found that very interesting.
California, lots of people watch us in California.
That's really cool.
Thank you, California.
We appreciate
I know there's a lot of people there in California. So yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys have never caught a live video before, so this is just where we connect with y'all. We hang out with you guys. A lot of people come on here to ask questions about liquidation, the current climate, things about reselling. And so we can just, talk you guys through some of those things. We also, joke around and talk. And
we don't joke.
I mean, he doesn't joke. I'm the funny one.
Well,
obviously.
She's so funny, so I don't even try to joke. Because I don't want to look bad, because she's just so clever.
I'm just so funny,
and funny.
Just so funny.
It just makes me look bad every time I talk. So I'm just gonna stop now.
And that's it for tonight, guys. I'll see you. No, I'm just kidding. How's everybody doing today? I know everybody asked.
We have Catherine. Catherine's is she from Greenbrier? Is that no? That's somebody else. Catherine, I'm not sure. I know you've been on here before. I'm not exactly sure where.
Lisa's from Indiana. That's awesome. Jason just got his first bargain hour box. How did you do? I don't know. Did you open it? You said you got it, but you didn't say you unboxed it, so I don't know.
I've been impressed with Aaron and Bargain Hour, just because if you've cut the live streams, very early on when we got the Bargain Hour box, we knew there was some sorting issues because they had just started selling those boxes, but they have done a lot of changes logistically within their operation to make sure that every time you start laughing, I look down and read a comment and I get distracted.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
But they've done a great job of making sure that the boxes are more consistent. So I'm excited about that. So if you got a bad Bargain Hour box in the beginning, I would give them another shot, just because they are being a lot more consistent with it. They're working,
we all work through our kinks, what I'm saying? So yes. Hello, everybody. There's the Houston reseller from Texas. Julian says that he's happy. He sees that you got rid of your quarantine hair.
Yeah.
That's what I was laughing about.
I've got that several times. Somebody said I look like Q from Impractical Jokers. His head is more elongated. Mine's more round. We're maybe the same build. That's probably it. But he doesn't even have a beard. I have a beard. And his
you can't
nose,
tell because it's super.
His nose is huge. I don't have a huge nose. I have big ears.
Okay, he didn't say you look just like him.
I remind him.
You remind him.
This is how you remind me of. I look like you from Impractical Jokers.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay. So, I don't know. Like I keep Auto Buff's on here. That's awesome. I saw Jessica was on here just a second ago. There's more than one Jessica. because I just looked down here and there's another Jessica. Jessica is a really great
We
name.
have more people from California. And Julian, quarantine hair. I don't know about that quarantine hair. I cut my own hair. So I did cut it though. So I didn't have to worry about it on vacation.
But you did grow it out a long time.
I did. You liked it. You said you liked it.
It was good.
All gelled and spiked and stuff.
It's nice to have a little change every once in a while.
Yeah, I've had this haircut since I was, I think, 18 years old, 17 years old.
So, Jason, you have not unboxed your thing. So let us know. I'm excited to know how it goes. We did have a really good vacation, Lisa. We did. We had a great vacation. What I liked the most about it, it's going to sound crazy, is that we didn't really have an agenda. We had no itinerary. I think because with us, like I like schedules and I like routines, and I work really hard in the business. But when I want to take a break from all that and get away and really enjoy time, we didn't have anywhere we needed to be.
Yeah,
we didn't have, like we're gonna do this on this day, we're gonna do this on this day. Like if we wanted to just hang out on the beach all day, then we did, and it was really great. It was one of those moments where I could just, and just have fun and relax and. Then, and then by the end of it, I was like, okay, I'm refreshed. Like I'm ready to get back into this. And so we've been taking our time trying to get everything, back into their routines. Our kids, we're getting back into like our cleaning schedule, like our chore schedule. We'll start homeschool next week. I just wanted to give them a little bit of a break.
Lucy called it a lazy vacation because we got out of the hotel maybe 3 times. We went to Walmart one day. We went to the aquarium, and then we went on a dolphin cruise. And in the 7 days that we were there, that's the only time that we left the hotel.
Which is,
and it wasn't really a hotel. It was
more of like a resort.
Yeah.
So like we didn't just stay in the hotel the whole time. We were on the beach. We were at the pool. Stuff like that. So.
It was like a 3-bedroom.
Yeah.
I'd say apartment. I don't know what it's called.
We just did a lot of like hanging out, and I really enjoyed it. I really loved it.
Yeah. It always is jumping.
Let's see. We got some Facebook people on here.
Rummage for Riches. Good evening from Nashville, the home of the presidential debate tonight. I don't even know what time it started. I think 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Is it on now? Or is it on 8? I think it's 8 to 9:30
Central Time.
Yep. But yes,
Nashville's Central Time. So
in Nashville, there are so many liquidation places in the Nashville Metroplex area. There's probably 4 liquidators that I know of within like an hour of Nashville. So you should be getting lots of places. In Washington, I don't know if there's any liquidation places out there.
Crystal, we love you too. Thanks for joining us on Facebook.
Yes.
That's awesome. I always enjoy seeing like some of the Facebook people on here too. I'm like, oh,
she's from North Carolina.
North Carolina. I would love to go to North Carolina.
We saw North Carolina on the dolphin cruise.
We saw
the shore on the, I forgot the little river inlet from the ocean.
The ocean?
What is ocean? What did Lucas call it? Ocean.
I don't remember what he called it.
Yeah. It was so cute. He's like, dolphin.
Oh, my favorite part, and I did not get it on video, and I wish that I had for the vlog that I did about the aquarium. But he would do this thing. His favorite part of the whole trip was this, in the aquarium, there was this tunnel, and it was a shark tunnel.
He loves tunnels.
And so he would go and like, there's like sharks above you. There's sharks on either side of you. He really wanted to see a turtle, and the one turtle that they had was over 50 years old, and she was the only one that they had. And so he got to see the turtle in there. And so he would do this song, and he would just go back and forth and go, shark, shark, tunnel, shark, shark, tunnel. And I wish I had caught it because it was incredibly cute. So, but
it was.
You guys get the
tunnels.
story.
We've got Sarah and Charles from West Virginia. And does Q have a beard? Because every time I've seen it, he hasn't had a beard.
Like, he definitely has a beard.
Somebody, I'll try and get a picture later on of Q because I don't, we're both hefty.
Hey, Wendy.
Hello,
Good
Wendy.
to see you. Thank you so much for that email, by the way.
Yes.
We really appreciated you sharing that with us. That was awesome. Best kind of vacation. I'm trying to go through and make sure. Now, I will say that if you do have questions every now and like sometimes these live videos end up being very educational and we start talking about reselling and stuff. And sometimes they just end up being us hanging out. We talk about stuff. We get to know each other and on a level that is not reselling. But if you do have questions, put them in all caps. If you're on YouTube, you'll notice that there are some people with a little wrench. It's a blue wrench. Those are our moderators. So if we don't get to your questions, those are people that we talk to, that we vetted. They help us with, posting links, and they help us answer questions. And then if you see anybody with a green tag, then they are our YouTube memberships. So in case you're wondering where all these little tags and stickers are coming from. So, and on Facebook, I don't think you guys are going to get to see that. So, or you're going to be able to.
And if you're watching and you didn't get notified that we went live, then make sure you hit the bell so that you get notified for all these things, unless you just don't want to. Maybe you don't like to have notifications.
You can live your life, you know what I'm saying?
You don't want to live in response to what your cell phone tells you to do. I don't know. We do. That's how we live our lives. Our cell phone does something and it tells us that we need to do something in return.
Hello, Kimberly from Facebook. Autobuff wants to know if we do any retail arbitrage at Walmart. Now, I'll tell you, we tried.
We just hate shopping.
We tried so many things. We did. There is a series of maybe one vlog. There's one vlog.
One vlog.
There's one vlog about us going thrifting because we were like, it was the beginning of 2020, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna self-improve. Like that typical, what is it called? New Year's resolution type behavior. We're like, we're gonna improve. We're gonna do this the right way. And I'm like, you know what? We're gonna pick a skill, and we're gonna pick the skill of thrifting. We want to get good at doing that.
Add it to our sourcing tool belt.
Yeah, we're gonna expand. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. We get up one morning. We have a sitter. We're like, yeah, we're gonna do this. And I want to say probably about 2 hours into it, we were both in a terrible mood, and we couldn't figure out why. And we can't find anything.
I think it was 30 minutes into it. It was the first place that we went to.
What place did we go? It was Goodwill? No, it was the Salvation Army.
Salvation Army.
So we go, So you're right, because in the middle of that, I had picked some stuff up, and I'm like, I could sell this, but I don't know if I really want to. And we're walking around. Joe comes up to me. He's got a growl on, a look on his face, and I'm like, I know. And he's like, I don't like this, and I'm like, I know, but we got to give it a shot because we're gonna improve. So and then we didn't buy anything. I think we ended up going to 3 different places before we gave up, and we ended up getting some stuff, and most of that stuff we haven't even listed.
We finally listed it. We did finally list it. Whitney finally listed it for us because I put it in her queue.
Whitney listed it. We did not list it. We had every intention of listing it.
But we know a lot of people have a lot of success at Walmart doing retail arbitrage. The key is just to scan. And when you find items, don't tell people on YouTube or Facebook which items you found.
Because then they'll go out and get it, and then they'll flood your market.
Exactly. Jose's asking about liquidators in California. There are a ton in California. We have a blog post about how to go and find liquidators near you on our web page. We can share that for you. I can share it for you here, I believe.
If you just go to www.thefamilyflips.com/blog. There's a series of blogs. There's not a whole bunch on there, so you should be able to scroll down and find them. There's a lot of starting points for you to do your research and things like that. So it's not like a guide by any means, but it's little tips and tidbits for people who are wanting to do their own research and are wanting to start out. In learning how where to look and what to do, because it can be really this whole liquidation and reselling can be very, very overwhelming. So you just got to take it a bite at a time. It can.
New York City NYC Life. I remember you. It was a good conversation. We talked to him on the way to Springfield. I don't know why my accent changed, but I found. I know you were concerned about adding a authorized user to your eBay account, and eBay doesn't allow for international people to be a virtual assistant or to have authorized access to your account. I did find a workaround. It's called 3D Sellers. You can set up an account with them. Depending on how much sales volume you do will determine how much it costs, but you can add team members there, and you can have members from wherever, and they can only have certain responsibilities or certain access. So 3D Sellers, a workaround for you.
Oh, and Jessica said, see if there's any aquariums that allow them to feed the stingrays. They did have one there. It was the only interactive thing that was open. All the other places, they were closed due to COVID and everything like that. But that one, there was plenty of room for everybody to spread out. So we were able to touch and feed the stingrays. It was so much fun. It was fun.
It feels, I touched the stingray. I touched this. I don't know. I did this with my hand. The front and then on the side. And it feels totally, I guess, the wing, the flipper. It feels totally different. It was so cool. Lucy had so much fun touching it. Jolene, she had so much fun. One of them splashed us. It was quite cool.
Let's see here. Oh, DJ from Pallet Jackin' is here.
What's up, DJ? Oh, you are driving. Aren't you late to work? I thought you had to be there at 6:30. It's like 8:30 your time. Did you sleep in? And I always go through Autobuff. I always go through, like if I go to other Walmarts, I do go through the clearance aisle and see what I can find, because you never know. I think it's just the hunt, the find.
That's always fun. That is always fun, because sometimes you do find like a little piece of treasure in there. Hi, Lance. How are you doing today? Thank you, Tracy. Let's see, I'm looking. Oh, Wendy, thank you for the super chat. Always so supportive. I know, I saw it.
I think it was
here it goes.
Yeah.
Says, how long did it take you to build up your business to the point where you could leave your day job? All right. Let's story time.
Story time.
This
is not the example that we say to follow unless
I'm gonna tell you what we did. And I'm going to tell you to not follow in our footsteps, because we learned the hard way.
I mean,
your story is different. Your story is different. I mean, mine is not. We both
have two different stories.
Yeah.
I have a story when I did it, and then when we got married and she started. And they're both not the example that we would recommend.
Yeah. Well, you can tell your story.
Yep. So for me, I just quit my full-time job because of faith. I felt like God was telling me to go ahead and quit my job to start selling this box of cell phones. I had been a reseller before, but I got promoted to general manager.
Tell the good story. Tell it from the beginning.
Oh, that feels so good. I got still sunburn on my back. The first day at the beach, I was like, I usually wear my shirt at the beach. One, because I'm a little overweight. But two, I'm very pale. I think that's probably the main reason. Is the second reason.
I want you to tell the story.
All right.
I'm sorry. I want to keep him on track because it is a beautiful story, and we haven't told it in a while.
So I was in the corporate world. I started working when I was 14 years old. At 14, I was a manager of a pizza store. At 16, I was a manager at Fred's. Went to college, was a manager with Chili's, moved on to different places. I guess I was in my early 30s. I moved to Nashville. I guess it's not. I need to tell that.
You can if you want to.
No, we'll just, I'm just trying to figure out, without making a long story.
So basically, Joe has been a manager or working in food service for a really long time. I mean, he started working when he was 14 years old, but he'd always been the kind of person that was entrepreneurial minded. Like even as a kid, he would like buy candy and then resell it for more at school. So he's always had that like mindset. But he was never able to really fulfill that part of him because he was always working for someone else. And he got really sick, really tired of it, tired of the politics of everything.
I didn't work well with others.
He does now.
Now, but then I didn't because I don't know how much to go.
You were a different person.
I was just different.
He was a different person. We grew.
Yep.
And so, he ended up getting married before we were married. He ended up getting married, and she wanted to go audio engineering school. And so they dropped everything, moved to Nashville, but he started they went down from 2 incomes down to 1 because she was in school. So he needed to be able to supplement the income so they could live the lifestyle that they wanted. Am I helping or am I just taking over?
No, I mean, both.
Okay, go for it.
I just didn't know how much information because there's a lot of back information that I don't think it's really relevant to the story.
Okay.
And that's why I was trying to figure out how much do I need to say. But anyways, I moved back to Arkansas, and I had bought some stuff from Shop Goodwill. I had a bunch of cell phones that I stopped selling when I got promoted to general manager with Cracker Barrel. And then we moved back to Arkansas. I went through a divorce because I wasn't a very good husband. I was married to my job, didn't know how to really have relationships. That's another 13 stories. We won't go there tonight. But just through prayer, I had started off like, I was tired of it. I wanted something different. And I just felt like it was a gradual thing over a couple of months. I felt like, like a year from now, you're not going to be working. And I thought I was going to be doing full-time ministry and just traveling the world, preaching the gospel is what I really thought. And then like a couple weeks later, it was like, 6 months from now, you're not going to be working. 3 months from now, you're not going to be working. Then it was one Friday evening. I just got done spending some time with God on a mountain, not really a mountain, a ridge that overlooks Conway. Just a really good time with God. I was on my motorcycle back to where I was living at that time. And no, I wasn't even living there at that time yet. I was going to visit my ex-in-laws, who are still technically my in-laws at that point because the divorce hadn't been filed. It's a little segue, not a segue, a little extra detail.
Side detail.
Yeah. And I was just praying, singing on my motorcycle, driving down the road. And God was just like, do you trust me? And I was like, yeah. I trust you. He's like, no, do you trust me? And I was like, yeah. And like, just, you can tell the tone of voice and the people of faith out there, if you don't, you may not know what I'm talking about. And then I felt like Peter this time, when Jesus was asking Peter, do you love me? And he's like, feed my sheep. Do you love me? And he asked me a third time, like, do you trust me? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, all right, well, when you go to work on Monday, I want you to put your notice in that box of phones that you have. I want you to start selling those and keep buying until I tell you to stop. And he's like, I want you to find a motorhome to live in, like an RV. And I was like, all right, because I thought, man, I'm gonna quit my job and then I'm gonna be traveling around in my motorhome, preaching the gospel, being led by the Spirit. That's what I thought. So Monday morning, I went in and I put my notice in, and then I don't know, probably an hour later, my ex-wife's uncle called and said, hey, I want you to come see me when you get off of work. So I went, saw him. He's like, I was in prayer yesterday and God was telling me to give you this 26-foot Winnebago. So
give it to
he just gave it to me, signed over the title, gave me the keys. So I quit my job. I got the thing, started selling the cell phones, just left my job. I was making good money as a food and beverage director for Hilton Hotels to start selling cell phones out of an RV. But I didn't have a lot of expenses. I didn't have kids then. I wasn't married then. So it was like, all right, well, I can live off of nothing. But that's how it started. It started like doing $50 a day in sales and $100 a day in sales. And then, just more and more as it grew. And I think when we met, I was doing it by myself, probably doing around $6,000 or $7,000 to $8,000 a month in sales. I'm like, well, with that, our profit margins, we can support our income together. And with us both working in the business, we can do more.
And then at the time, I had Jolene, because Jolene was from a previous relationship. So, for us to get married, we would not only have to support, each other, but we'd also have to support a daughter. But I was a preschool teacher at the time, which it's crazy that I even got that job. That was totally a God thing too. But I was a preschool teacher at the time. I actually loved it. I really enjoyed it. But I did feel like I wanted to build something on my own. And when I happened to meet Joe and realized that he had his own business, I wanted to do that too. So I dived in. I actually quit my job a couple of weeks before we got married. I moved into the house. He didn't move in until after we were married. but I moved into the house that we had rented and lived there for a couple of months. And he would come, and we had a bedroom. We had a 3-bedroom home, and we had one of the bedrooms sanctioned off
81
as
square foot.
81 square feet.
Yes.
And we basically just sold cell phones for a long time. And the adjustment, I mean, I quit my job. We were learning how to be married, and we were going from, individual incomes to like this large income. It caused a lot of problems. And so that's why, if you go onto the blog on our website, you'll see like how to start how I would recommend someone starts reselling. And you can build those things up better than we did. And the reason why I have those tips is because if I could do it all over again, like I would have followed the tips that I had outlined in there, because we put ourselves in we didn't account for the adjustment. We didn't account for what that would look like. And there was no room for mistakes. We didn't have income to fall back on, because I was no longer working at the preschool. So in order for if something happened and one of us got sick, or we couldn't source something, or like the place that we were sourcing our cell phones from, weren't working or whatever. And that actually ended up happening. We ended up having a place where the margins for cell phones got incredibly small. And that's actually why we ended up going into like liquidation and stuff to begin with.
Yep.
So,
and then it's the whole freedom aspect.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't realize, when you go to a job, you clock in, you always have something, a system or a boss, somebody telling you what to do. But when you're working on your own and it's just you, like you are like, if you don't feel like working, technically you can take the day off.
Yeah.
But we know how that goes. So it's a long story short, we don't recommend it. I mean, we recommend for a lot of people to do part-time reselling, because it's very hard, especially now. It
depends on how you want to do it. But yeah.
And how much money you have saved. If you have a lot of money saved, then say, hey, go for it. But if you're living, paycheck to paycheck, then it's a big deal to go full-time reselling, unless you have like a life-changing situation where you get unemployed, something happens where you have to do it. But you can definitely do it, but it's going to take lots of.
I guess the question you really need to ask yourself is, knowing that the climate of reselling and liquidation is always changing and is very dynamic, are you somebody who is okay basing your livelihood on it?
Yep.
And that's the reason why, we tell people all the time, like we do liquidation and everything, but YouTube is also a business for us.
Yep.
And so is my doula clientele. I'm working on actually photography and hoping to monetize that. Like I find things that I can monetize to help the income. Because at some point, what happens if I can't get the pellets that I want to get? Do we have a backup for that? And we do have a backup for it.
Yep.
So we're not just living, willy-nilly to however the climate for liquidation is at the time. And I think that everybody needs to make that.
Yep. Long story.
Yeah, long story. Sorry, but Alastered Atlas. I only speak
muy poquito español.
Yes, I only speak very little, enough to get around. If I was around Spanish-speaking people, I could probably ask where the bathroom is and if they speak English. But actually, I got that from, I was in high school, and I learned quite a bit in high school and college. But I really learned the most working in restaurants. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to answer this question real quick and then get caught up on the comments. Rummage for Riches ask, can you go over again why you shut down your flea market booths? And
Good question.
Is it a decision you're still happy about? Yes, we are still happy about the decision. Why we shut it down is, one, when we got the flea market booth, there was really one purpose for it. We wanted to liquidate a lot of leftover inventory that we had whenever we shut down our warehouse. We did that. We also wanted to see if it would be a viable way for us to get rid of a lot of the lower dollar items that we would get in off of pallets that we were purchasing. So when we got the flea market booth, we were only ordering 1 pallet a week at that time, because a big part of our revenue came from selling cell phones and digital cameras. But COVID-19 wiped that out. It made the prices for those extremely high. And there was a big shortage in supplies for those. So when we started having to buy more liquidation items, the flea market booth did not create a conduit or a way for us to be able to move those lower priced items fast enough. Around that time, also, our YouTube channel took off to where we started making money on YouTube. We started vlogging a lot more because it was financially beneficial to do so. Plus, we enjoy, like, I'm not saying it's just for the money. We enjoy it. But, when we were getting 25 cents per video before, it didn't make sense a lot of times to spend 3 hours to make 25 cents. You understand what I'm saying? So we determined that it wasn't part of our plan moving forward, that it just wasn't a viable way to move items fast enough. So that's why.
Yes, I'm catching up on. You guys have such great commentary. I enjoy it. I'm just reading it all. I too love Cracker Barrel. I do love Cracker Barrel.
She says that I own them all because every restaurant I've ever worked at, she's like, you own that Cracker Barrel too?
No, so he was a general manager for a Cracker Barrel.
Yep.
And so, like,
Store 26, Harding.
In my head,
in Nashville.
In my head, I was like, "Oh, he's the CEO of Cracker Barrel." I don't know. It hit. I don't know what happened. Like, it's like something happened. I'm like, and every time, it doesn't happen so much now. But like when we were first like, dating and all that stuff, like I would have to be like, no, he was the general manager for one Cracker Barrel. I don't know why. In my head it went like that. So now it's an inside joke. I'm like, oh, there's your Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. Matthew says he got several bargain hour boxes, 2 electronics and 1 clothing and jewelry. Electronics was doubled up, which is awesome. Clothing and jewelry was a bust. And I could see a lot of, trying to simplify my answer because I like to make things hard sometimes. I don't know if you knew that. So when it comes to the jewelry and clothing items, that it's a lot of cheap stuff that's not really conducive for online selling. Only a lot of people that buy those, they have a flea market. They do lots of garage sales where they go through, they pick out the jewelry that will sell for money. They put that online, and then the 95% of the other items, they sell them in flea markets or at garage sales, or they have Facebook selling groups, little Facebook live videos that they do to sell those. So I know we're going to be unboxing one of those probably next week. I'm not sure exactly when that unboxing will be out, but we are going to go over that and kind of some strategy of how to sell that stuff.
Yeah. John Van wants to know, how do we keep from getting discouraged when sale numbers drop for weeks at a time? We don't keep from getting discouraged. We actually do feel discouraged a lot. It's one of those things. It's like, that's, I think for me, it's my perspective of the business is that it is very, what's the word?
I'm not sure.
It's got its ups and downs.
Thinking, and then I didn't even hear what you said.
It's got its ups and downs, So, when the sales numbers drop, it gets very nerve wracking, and it gets very discouraging. I don't know.
I think the best thing to do to the best advice, practical advice, I would say to do from keep getting discouraged would be to have a system, like have a goal, a weekly listing goal or a daily listing goal, monthly listing goal, something that no matter how you're feeling emotionally, because when sales are not good, you're going to be discouraged, especially if you've got bills due. And then you start going, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to, promote my items. I'm going to send my store on a sale, mark everything down, and then you don't get any sales and you start getting discouraged even more. But if you have systems in place where you have a routine where every day you list 10 items, 5 items, 20 items, whatever that you list, at some point the sales will come. But also you can take advantage of those times when sales are slow is go back and look at your listings to make sure that they are optimized. Is the title right? Are the keywords in there? Do you have the item specifics in there? Are your pictures good? Maybe when you priced the items, they were good, but maybe somebody else started selling those items. There's other items that have been sold that they're selling for a lower price. So look at those things during those times to see if you can modify your listings to see if maybe you're overpriced. But just stay steadfast with that. Work the plan, make a plan, work the plan, and just know that at some point in time, sales will come through. I know right now it's very, very hard because we're in such and such economic and political uncertainty that it has a lot of people not buying. But at some point, people will start buying.
That was really good.
Yep.
Good job. Oh, and this is good. Topsy-turvy fluctuation. It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I try to keep up with, like, we're going in order, but I also like to keep up with some of the stuff that might be happening.
Just gotta stay level-headed. You know, it's hard because a lot of times we feel powerless, and then we blame eBay. We like, oh, eBay's hiding my listings, and they're doing this and that, and we start putting the blame on them. You know, it just people. I don't know if you do that. I see lots of people in Facebook groups do it. I'm like, man, dude, no, it's not you, man. So.
Let's see, I'm just looking through. Are we going to be doing Halloween with the kids this year? Halloween is not really a holiday that we celebrate that much, but we do like to make it special in some way. We don't. It's not like a big holiday in our family. But you know, we might go to like a trunk or treat. Or last year we stayed in. We made I think we made like caramel popcorn and painted pumpkins, and the kids loved it. We watched a movie and under a blanket fort. So those are the kind of, I mean, that's what I like to do. We don't really have a lot of trick-or-treaters in our neighborhood because it's kind of rural. But my CrossFit box is throwing like a trunk or treat or something like that. So we might go there. But I don't know. We'll just see what happens.
Yeah. Jack's Treasures says that moving full-time reselling is a huge challenge. My husband stopped teaching in 2017 and won't get to collect retirement until 2025. I kept working on the side till this year. And I agree. Like it would be perfect. Like if you have, a husband-wife combo, husband-husband combo, wife-wife combo, whatever, just your spouses that you partner together, that if you're trying to build this together, that in order to solidify the long-term success of the business, that one person does keep their full-time job, at least as the way to pay all of the bills. And we recommend that anyways, is just in any, whatever, like one person's income should be able to pay for all the bills. If not, then, I don't know, there's just lots of things, that could change that. But with reselling specifically, that way you can build your reselling business. You can invest the profits fully back into the business instead of having to use reselling money for bills and such. That's a great way. Plus, if you have a job that pays benefits and medical insurance, that's a great way to help cut the costs as you're trying to build that business.
Kelly says that they love being a medic, firefighter, would like to do something like we do, but have been serving their community for so long they don't know how to even start buying and selling items. I actually have a blog that might be of interest to you. If you go to the family, if you go to www.thefamilyflips.com/blog, there is a blog on there. I wish I remembered what I titled it, but it's like how to start, where to start, and it talks, it's step by step. It's a step-by-step process so that you're only really dealing with certain chunks of the business and the process at a time. So I think that would be super helpful for you. It's a great place to start. And anyone can do it. Like anybody can do, even if it's a small scale, something that you just do on the side. It's not a get rich quick type thing.
No, it's
it takes
definitely not.
Work and perseverance, but if you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to do the research, it's super profitable. It's a super profitable thing that you could do. Joking.
Excuse
on the
you.
side. Kimberly says, have you ever won a pallet? Yet upon receiving it, the value the liquidation company has put on it was way off than what you received. I got a pallet valued at $6,400, turned out only to have a value of $936, and it was missing 149 products. If so, how do you handle it?
So one, I'm so sorry about your experience. Yeah. It often happens in liquidation. To answer your question, no, we never have, because one, I've never gone off the liquidation of what they suggest is on there, because it's liquidation. Like there's no guarantees. Like the way that they do those, it sucks. It's just the way it is. So I would say, how would I handle it though? It really depends on where you purchase it from and who delivered the item. If you purchase it from a place and they delivered it to you using their transportation, then you're going to be more likely to be able to get some sort of refund. But with missing that many items, I would definitely reach out to the people that you bought it from, because missing that many items somewhere, that's a problem, and I would talk to somebody.
And being nice can go a long way. Be respectful, be professional. Don't be accusatory. It could have been something happened. It could have been like an oversight. It could have been a lot of things. Don't assume the worst.
Because a lot of times, I interrupt.
No, I'm just going to finish this and you can go on, because it's important. What you're saying is important. But assume when you do business deals. I see this a lot on Facebook groups, and it causes problems. But I think one of the most important things you can do is when you're dealing with confrontation with a liquidator, which will inevitably happen if you're doing business with people. Confrontation doesn't necessarily mean a fight. Go in, assume positive intent. Something happened. There must have been a mistake. Something, what's going on? Can I get more information about this situation that's going on? And it's okay to say, well, it was advertised this to me, but we don't have to come out guns blazing. And I think that with a liquidator, there's already a lot of risk going on, and they're really, a good liquidator is trying to mitigate risk any way that they can. So if you come to them with like, hey, I want to work with you to correct this problem, instead of, hey, what are you going to do for me because this happened, they're going to be way more willing to work with you. So yes. Okay. Now what were you saying?
I don't remember.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I apologize.
If I remember, I'll, but I don't remember. I don't remember what it was.
And then one of our moderators did put a link to the blog in the chat on YouTube. If you're on YouTube. So I know I've mentioned needing to go there. So for those of you who are asking questions, it's already linked down there for you. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. Let's see. I got a new issue with eBay. Started to do inventory numbers for my first time. First time when I attached it to my eBay listings, the inventory numbers disappeared. I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
I have no idea.
I do know that over the years that we have found that we have listings that disappear. I don't know how. It could be user error on our part. I've never really dove much into it because, I just didn't do it. Thank you, Uncle Lee.
Uncle Lee gave me a super sticker. And everybody say hi to my uncle.
But we did inventory like every 3 months. We'd inventory all the items that we've got. What's listed, and pull all those items that weren't and relist those. But I'm not exactly sure about the problem to comment more. I'm sorry.
You might want to talk to someone who does more eBay like, or maybe just eBay. Maybe talk to eBay.
Yeah, I just don't know enough about the problem.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Andrew wants us to talk a little bit about how we do garage sales. How often do we have sales, and how do we promote them? So I would love to.
We've never done one before. We're fixing to have our first one in the next couple weeks.
Here's what's going on. So, before it was always the flea market. And so we've recently closed down our flea market. But when we did like a clearance sale. We didn't want to take anything with us. So we just cleared everything down. We did, 3 weeks before we closed down, Joe went in there, did like a 25% off everything, did a 50% off everything, did a 75% off everything, cleared everything out.
We got a whole lot. We didn't sell hardly anything.
I know. It really didn't sell.
Yeah.
But that's what we wanted to do. And so now we want to do a garage sale, but our location where our home is not really conducive to a good garage sale with a lot of traffic. And on top of that, us being on TV, I feel really uncomfortable, because my kids live there, letting everybody know where we live. So we're working through some things. I know I have a friend who's willing to let us use her yard. So we may do that. We may see if we can try to find like some more commercial plot area that we can do them maybe monthly. And so once we figure all that out and we start doing it, we would be glad to let you know how we did it and how it worked and what didn't. But it's going to be an experiment for us. So thank you, Derek. We appreciate the prayers and the affirmation. I love affirmation. My love language is words of affirmation. So just tell me I'm doing a great job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Deb, she says, thank you. I needed to hear that. She's on Facebook. sales have been really slow, and sometimes it makes you wonder if it's worth it. Thank you for those encouraging words. So we always talk about that, like, in finding your reason why, like, why are you reselling? And we always suggest to not, like, money to not be the reason why you resell. Like, money should be a side effect of reselling. But if your goal is to make, well, I'm going to resell to make money, then when you don't make money and the sales aren't coming through, you're going to be very easily discouraged and want to quit, right? Also, if you reach those goals and you're like, all right, well, I made my money, now I'm no longer motivated, then it goes both ways. But if you have a bigger reason, maybe you're wanting to have some sort of financial freedom to be able to take your kids on holidays or on trips, or maybe you're wanting to pay off a car, or maybe you're wanting to send your kids to school, or you're wanting to give your mom extra money. That's money, but it's a deeper motivation than just a financial thing, because that why will keep you focused and not get frustrated and as easily discouraged when the sales don't come through, because it's retail. Like, there are periods throughout the year where sales aren't there. Like, the vast majority of retail businesses, that they get the majority of their sales during the fourth quarter of the year. And they have months where they don't hardly sell much at all if it wasn't for the fourth quarter. So there's going to be ups and downs and valleys, but there are things that you can buy, you can strategically source to stock your store, stock your shelves, your virtual shelves, so that it carries you through those traditionally slower periods of sales times.
Yeah. Hello, Michael from Facebook.
Yes.
Good to see you tonight. Wow, Zombies 2 made their first $1,000 in a 90-day cycle.
That's awesome.
Great job. That is awesome. I am so proud of you, because I mean, it's hard. It's a hard work. It shows that you're doing what you need to do. You're growing. That's awesome.
That's almost a car payment right there a month.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
Shamrock Pixie, hello. How are you feeling? I hope you're healing well. And then Kimberly, okay. For those of you who are following the palette, she's on Facebook. So filed a dispute and been very understanding. That's awful.
Yeah.
I am very sorry. I probably would not purchase from them again.
Yeah.
Honestly.
We're way behind on
I know. I'm trying. Fazzy Bustle, I love your screen name.
Yeah.
I just really love it. Says, if you approach calmly, and they're more likely to go above and beyond to make everything right. And then Wendy gave us a
thank you so much, Wendy. Wendy bought several jewelry boxes.
Yeah, but she said she won't do it again
because it's a lot of items.
Her box was $2,000 and she made $610. 200. I'm sorry. I was like, what? Okay. I'm like, who's buying a 2,000 jewelry box
for sale?
Made $610, but have about 60 items left to sell at a later date.
Yep.
But the other box is double and tripled, but those were clothes. We actually have a jewelry and clothes box that we're waiting to unbox.
I'm interested in the clothes. I've always wanted to do clothes, but I didn't want to do clothes because I don't want to do clothes. I'm like a professional buyer. I like buying, but I don't like listing. Although I did list 5 items today, and I felt so gratified. I'm like, I listed 5 items. I texted Jessica. I'm like, I listed 5 items. I'm so filled.
I was proud of him.
But I like to buy. I think I was commenting in a group earlier that they don't like to list either. I think that's why we built up our business the way that we have, to have somebody who can list for us so that we can focus doing the things that we really enjoy doing in the business and outsource the things that we don't enjoy so much, like listing. Yeah.
Jessica Shields says, how about we do a group shout out of your why? I'm sharing that in case the Facebook people want to do it too. Because whys are super important.
Yep.
It's shaped a lot of the way that we've built our business.
Yep.
And I know that those people who don't know what our why is, we actually look like we're not doing enough, but we're actually doing everything that we want to do.
Yep.
So, and it's funny, it's like there's this really great exercise if you take it seriously and really put some thought into it. Back when I want to say it was like 2 years ago, maybe. I was in Washington for a meeting, and they did this whole why thing. And she said, get you out 3 pieces of paper. I was like, all right. So I get out 3 pieces of paper, and I set it down in front of me, and I have my pen in my hand, and she says, okay. She goes, okay. And she goes, if you, if you could have the money that you needed to do like if you had unlimited money, right? Like, and you had like, what 5 goals would you want to achieve? And so a lot of people, were like, I would like to pay off my car. I'd like to be able to go back to school. I'd like to be able to pay off my house, things like that, right? So you get all 5 of those things. You get your car paid off. You get your student loans paid off. You get your house paid off. You're no longer living in debt. And so you have all of these things. A lot of people say things like, I'd like to be able to work from home. I'd like to be able to do all those things. So what are your 5 goals? And so we look at them and we reflect on them. We talk about them. I was with a group of, I want to say probably maybe 15 other women. And so we were just looking and we were reflecting on all of that. And she said, okay, she goes, I want you to take that piece of paper. I want you to crumple it up, and I want you to throw it away. And she goes, all of those things are done. Every part of that is done. You've achieved all of those goals. What's next? So if you achieved all of those goals, what would your next 5 goals be? And I was like, okay. And that it got a little bit harder because for the longest time, I could only see what was right in front of me. I could only see the debt that I was in. I could only see, the stuff that I was struggling with. I didn't know how to see past that. So it took me a really good minute. And it took a lot of these ladies a really good minute to figure out, okay, well, what is it that I want after that? Because that's all I've been working for. And so you put those 5 goals down, and those next 5 goals down. And then you reflect on them and you say, okay, well, that it kind of seems impossible, because I think on my list, it was like, I'd like, to be able to purchase and build my own house on land, things like that. I'd like to be able to make sure that my kids had everything they needed if they wanted to go to school, financially, make sure they were financially stable. I'd like to, at the time, I wanted to have a big warehouse and multiple buildings and things, those are things that I wanted
Not
at the time.
anymore.
We don't want that anymore, but that's what in my head, that's what I wanted because I had it on my list. So I look at those and I reflect on those things, and she goes, okay, crumple that piece of paper and throw it away. She goes, all of that stuff is done. What's next? And that was one of the hardest reflective things I've had to do because I've never thought that far before. And it got really emotional. Like once all of those needs and all those things are met, you really find out like what you were built for and what your passion was. And it was a really emotional time to share all that. So I say all that to say our why, a lot of times it's, paying off hospital debts, paying off, medical bills, paying off all of those things because it is so pressing and it's so much pressure on us, but we're made for more than that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just made to pay our bills off. It's
not why we were created.
There is more than that. And so when we think about our why and we think about what that looks like, it's more than the things that are here. Cause I think one of the things for me was that I actually would love to see businesses that brought the love, not the judgment, but the love of Jesus into my city. And that's something that it just all came falling into place. And I realized, how far that is, and how I want to live this simple life with my kids, but that's not just it. That's not it for me. Living the simple life for my kids is something that's for me. But I have a place in the whole big wide world too. Mm-hmm. What's my destiny there? Anyway, so that got really deep. But
it did, and that's where we get part of. We become slaves to the institutions that we talk about a lot. Pursuing your dreams.
Oh my gosh, Uncle Lee,
live outside of those systems. The system talking about I always tell when you're a kid. You get older, you go to school, you get the house, you get the car, and then you pretty much, you get the job, then you become enslaved to that. And then your lifestyle is what you become a slave to. So you always have to have a job that's going to make you enough money to get your lifestyle. But we don't realize that 1.5% are over 50% of Americans, they spend 1.5% more per year than they make. So it's always needing that more to feed that thing, because we all know, like, we just keep expanding.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Yeah. Oh, and not to make a huge right turn, but I thought this was cool.
Yep.
Won an auction on American Pallet Liquidators Facebook page,
Awesome.
and you get to go pick it up tomorrow. That's exciting.
I've always wanted to buy a pallet off their Facebook page, their group. I never did, because we always bought in bulk from them. But yes.
So Remedios Gregorio, do we have a tutorial on how to sell, for example, resell license, filing taxes, how to do sales on eBay, to name a few? A lot of those practical things, we have learned a lot from Daily Refinement, which is Chris Lynn, his YouTube channel. I highly recommend it. I was part of his masterminds class, and it was invaluable to me. And that's for eBay. Now, with the resale license and the filing taxes and things like that, he doesn't really cover that in depth. I would recommend you talk to a professional in your area.
Yeah.
Taxes are, they vary from state to state, from region to region. What we might need to get a business license here in Arkansas might be different for you where you're at. So those things, I would recommend you just talk to a professional in that area. But as for like selling on eBay and things like that, we don't do that because there are so many great people out there who already do it, and we can just refer to them for those kinds of things. But yeah. I think the person that I would recommend highly is Daily Refinement.
Yeah. And we don't there are so many resellers out there that can give great information about the how-tos and eBay. It's just not our cup of tea. It's not like we enjoy doing this, but making videos specifically for that, we just, it's hard. It's hard.
What is our favorite liquidation company for electronics? I don't know if we have a favorite. We have some that we've done really well with the bargain hour electronics boxes.
I know Market Street Liquidation and pallet sales, they're going to start selling electronics mystery boxes. They are built from the same pallets that Bargain Hour does. I believe they're going on sale in the next week or two. We are getting some boxes from them to unbox on our channel to see what that's like for you guys. That didn't make any sense. For you guys to see what it's like. But as far as electronics specifically, we used to order specifically a lot of electronics from bstock.com. There's a bstock supply that sells electronics. But you'll find that a lot of electronics only pallets and such, they're not really listed online. They are, but they're not. So yes.
Okay, Uncle Lee, we'll spend it on the kids.
Thank you so much.
We'll get them something special for you. Thank you so much. That's very awesome. That's so awesome. I'm a little like, I don't know.
I know, Uncle Lee.
He spoils us.
Yes.
I'm trying to test out the reselling. Only bought a few items I thought would sell quickly, but I'm apprehensive of offering shipping, so I'm only doing local pickup. I don't know where to start to ship. Now, shipping is an art form.
It's really something that you can really only learn by doing.
Yeah.
And making mistakes and losing money here and there, because it's something that you always. I've been doing full-time reselling for almost 7 years now. And I'm still learning stuff all the time because it's constantly changing. I believe Primetime Treasure Hunter, he has some videos about shipping with like resizing boxes and such. I know it's something that I'm going to start making videos specifically for our YouTube membership, the Weekend Warrior and above, because that's been a common question for them. So I'm going to make some personalized videos for those individuals. So if you're looking at doing that more, what the heck am I talking about? If you're looking at learning more individualized, that may be something to look into. God, where are my words going?
They're great words. They're great.
I think it's because I'm trying to read while talking, and I shouldn't do that because my words, I'm like skipping words in my head.
Let's see. I'm looking through here. There's some pretty good conversation going on in the chat. How long ago has this started? What is this? Define this.
This video has been going on for 59 minutes and 55 seconds now.
Oh, we should probably say our first goodbye.
Yeah, we should.
This is our first goodbye.
Yep.
For those of you who are just catching our live streams and don't know, we are pretty Southern in our goodbyes, and there's usually about 4 or 5 of them.
The final goodbye will be approximately 8:15.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking. Oh, okay. New York. Okay. So Laura was saying that one of her dreams is to own or to have a farm, but New York property is so expensive. You may have to move somewhere more rural.
Maybe getting cheaper. The more people that move out of the state, they're going to have to drop their prices.
That's true. Do you watch Roots and Refuge? They're friends of ours, and they have an awesome YouTube channel for gardening and farming.
Yeah.
Let's see. Whoa.
You jumped.
Whoa. Let's see.
That's it. We're all caught up. It only took 55 minutes. It's because I talk so much. I apologize. I talk a lot.
You don't talk a lot.
I can't speak for you. Only for me.
Do we still have the bargain hour discount? Yet? Well, you were just telling me that we were.
Yes, I believe that code is still working. We've got a new code. I know that one thing they're doing is it's going to be the discount's going to be for first-time buyers because they're finding that a lot of people are using the discount code over and over again, and it's really meant to drive new business there. So I know that will be changing at one point in time. But, if you have multiple people in your household and you order one and then somebody else orders one in your family, first-time purchase.
Yeah.
But I forget what it is, what that discount code is. But I remember the family flips was the other one, or pound family flips. It wasn't the so yes. But I believe those other codes will be ending at some point in time. Because a lot of people are using them 5 and 6 times. And business-wise, I could definitely understand as a business owner. I'm sure you guys as business owners yourselves can understand the decision with that also.
Yes. Oh, I missed one. When did we get back from vacation and how was the drive back? So we got back on, what day did we get? Tuesday?
Tuesday night around 10:30 our time.
And listen, I've got, for those of you who do not know, we have an 8-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And let me tell you, when we were looking back, some things had happened, and we usually drive back in 2 days, but we ended up doing the whole drive in one day.
17 hours.
Our kids did phenomenal.
They did.
I was shocked. I was so shocked. They did so amazing. And so we got back on Tuesday. We're still trying, yesterday was kind of a rest day for me. Just because it was such a long drive. Yeah. We did film an unboxing today, yesterday.
It was a challenge. It usually takes us 2 hours to film, maybe 3.
Yeah, but we just could not.
It took us 5 hours to film an unboxing.
I mean, even now, I don't know. I feel even this live video, you guys may not notice, but for me, I kind of feel like my brain is still not in work mode yet.
I know you noticed my words not coming out right.
Yeah, somebody else asked a question here. Okay, here we go. How do you search for pallets or mystery type boxes? You want to take that one?
Yeah, I mean, we have a blog that shows how to find liquidators and stuff. I mean, for me personally, I just get on Google and look up liquidation mystery boxes. Although, unless the people are on Google and they have a lot of traffic, it's not going to show up. It's really just finding through different liquidation groups or Facebook groups or YouTube videos, just mystery box unboxing, stuff like that. So yes, that's how we do it. That's how I do it.
And then what selling platform would you say is the best one to use as far as transaction fees? I don't know because we don't really use any. Do you know? I don't know a lot about the transaction fees of
I know
platforms.
Poshmark, if you sell clothes, they're 20%, I believe. If you sell on Poshmark and I'm wrong, correct me, please. Macari, I think, is like 10 or 15% now. Amazon, their fees are extremely high. eBay's fees, in my opinion, are the lowest fees unless you're selling on Facebook. Facebook, if you ship, sells, it's a 5% fee, so that's probably the cheapest. But they still have some work to do in regard to their online selling platform. But as far as fees go, in my opinion, it's eBay has the most cost-efficient selling fees.
Good job.
Yep. Hello, Aubrey.
Hello, Aubrey. Welcome, everybody. Welcome Aubrey to the liquidation world.
Yes.
Her dad, Tom King, are good friends of ours. So she's here. Hello, welcome. Are we doing more A&E unboxing, extreme unboxing episodes? The whole first season has already aired. So the ones that we are that's season 1. There's been no talk so far that I've heard of season 2. I know that because of all the drama with A&E and Live PD, it's hard to say. I really feel like if that hadn't happened, that maybe Extreme Unboxing would have hit better.
It did better than Jeff Foxworthy's show.
I know, but I'm just saying, I feel like because a lot of people are boycotting A&E right now, it's really hard to tell. So I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure if there's going to be a season 2, and there's no guarantee that if they do it, that we would be on it.
Yeah.
Even.
I don't even we haven't heard any feedback as far as if they're happy with the ratings. We haven't had feedback from them about what the ratings were. There's a website that we would check that would show the ratings and stuff. And we were usually in the 80s on Tuesday night of all the TV shows, which was decent, I thought, for a first-year show that didn't have a pilot episode. I thought it was pretty good, and it got better. The ratings got better as the season progressed.
Ooh, another Jessica in the chat. What happened to Live PD? A lot of people think you probably need to Google it. It's complex.
It's complex. People think that A&E doesn't support police officers
okay. So one side, the boycotters, believe that A&E does not support police officers because this happened around the time that George Floyd was killed.
Yeah.
And so around the time that happened, they had canceled Live PD, which was one of the most popular shows on the network.
The most popular
It was
show.
The most popular show on the network. And it was one of the most popular shows across many networks. It was very, very popular. And I had to do my research. I'm like, well, is that true? Is it true that they're, not supporting, police officers or whatever? So I looked into it. Well, I looked into it. Joe looked into it. And basically there were some legality issues, that there was some issue with a case that had happened that was caught live that put, the producers, the cameramen, and everybody kind of in a really weird legal situation. And I don't want to tell you what I think happened because I don't know. You'd have to probably Google that and look that up yourself. But essentially there was a death and the footage was not asked for or something. And then A&E held on to it for a while, but then ended up having to delete it because I'm sure that's what they do. They can't keep all that footage. That's a ridiculous amount of footage. And so it just got really weird. And so I guess, they have said that they plan on relaunching Live PD, but it's going to have to be different because they got to protect their people.
And there was safety concerns also because the way that, police are viewed, and a lot of people, with the cameras, purposely agitating situations because it's on camera.
Yeah.
So legally, there are lots of concerns to protect their people.
And the police officers
without
involved.
inciting more stuff. So there we go.
But I loved filming Extreme Unboxing. If they asked us to be back on the show,
isn't that what we were watching? No, we were watching Live Rescue.
I love Live Rescue.
We went to Memphis. I don't know, was that back in June or July?
Yeah.
And they had emailed us on a Friday and said that the commercials were going to go live starting on Saturday. And I got messages from a couple people saying, "Hey, are you on TV? I just seen a commercial and you're on TV." But we kept watching A&E while we were in the hotel room because we wanted to see the commercials. And we were watching Live Rescue.
I loved Live Rescue.
I like that one too. So.
I liked Live PD too. I have a soft heart for police officers also. My brother is a police officer. So
5 more minutes. This is the second goodbye.
Oh, it looks like you guys are only getting 3 goodbyes tonight. Skipping out on the goodbyes.
Yeah.
I hope they relaunch Live PD too, but I also hope that they do it in a way that makes them that it's safe because I am concerned not just for I'm just concerned for the safety of like the crews. I'm concerned for safety of the officers and even the people that are on there. It's just you just never know. There's just so much.
Never know.
There's so much going on, and I just want everybody to be safe. Everybody to be safe.
Yep.
That's true. It used to be called Night Watch Live Rescue.
Did it?
Yep. Is it the same show? It feels like the same show. I think it is the same show.
I have no idea.
Thank you, Wendy.
Dang, Wendy, you're awesome.
Wait. When? Next week, this time?
Yes.
Okay. We'll pray for you.
We will be. I know it's a big change for you. You're probably a little nervous.
Yes.
A lot nervous. I'd be a lot nervous because you don't know how, life, to go in detail,
but you're going to rock it.
Yep.
You're going to rock it.
Yep.
Let's see.
What's up,
TJ's back.
The life of a, what was it? What was the hashtags that you used on Instagram? I enjoyed those. I was like, oh, that's interesting. They were good. They were good hashtags.
If y'all don't follow Pallet Jackin', he's got some pretty fun vlogs and unboxings as well. So if you like unboxings, he's definitely one to check out. I like him in April. Yeah.
Just pulled in the parking lot. How long of a drive was that to work?
Oh my gosh, where do you work?
He works at some nuclear power plant.
I know, but like where
Nuke Life, that was it. There's another one too. That was funny, Nuke Life. That's the one I laughed at the most. But there was also several others that were very laughable.
An hour drive?
Dang,
man. My gosh. Look, see,
I feel bad for you because you're working 6 days a week right now from like late at night to early in the morning.
Dude.
Until Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't know it was, I apologize, man.
I mean, my commute's like 10 steps.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine.
Sometimes I get stuck, by the kids, what is that? The interchange, the interchange in the kitchen. Sometimes it gets backed up and I can't get into the garage.
Yes. If you are the praying type, please pray for Wendy.
Yep.
She's got a surgery coming up. So we want to make sure that she gets all the love and the prayers from her community. So, let's see. I'm trying to think.
Raina, it's probably too much to go back into.
You can. She probably.
You
you might be behind a little bit on the stream. We explained all of it.
Yeah.
So, or you can. I mean, there's a lot of info. When I Googled it, there was a lot of articles.
Yeah, on the second page, especially.
Yeah. Your page.
I mean, hey, the second page it's got just as good search results as the first page. The first page is where all the paid stuff is.
The first page is the sponsored ads. The second page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Does anybody have any last minute questions or comments or things that we want to talk about before we go? Whitney, her beautiful soul, is taking care of our babies right now, and her puppy just had surgery. To get a tumor removed.
Used to be our puppy.
Yes, but Whitney, she's like the
dog.
The dog. She's like the dog mom. It's like dogs from everywhere, like know that she's there and then want to be loved by her. Yeah. But anyway, so she's she's the best. But she her puppy just had surgery.
Yeah.
And she so lovingly, because it was like. Our kids just came back from vacation. We didn't want them to have to go all the way to my sister-in-law's house and then stay there and just, it's just a lot of change and a lot of movement. So I was like, well, Whitney was like, she graciously is watching them for us. So I want to make sure. Yes, pray for Whitney's puppy. Whitney would feel so loved to know that they care about Sophia, which she was actually just going in to get spaded. She's like, it's a crazy story because she was going to get the puppy, get her dog to get spaded, and then something happened and she had to postpone it. And then when she got rescheduled, something else happened and she's like, well, I might have to postpone it. But she felt really deep down inside. She's like, I really feel like we need to just make this happen. So, she ended up like rearranging everything to get it done, only to find out that the vet had told her afterwards, right? It was after the surgery that her dog's whole uterus had been a huge tumor on it. And they didn't test it or anything, but they did get all of it. So she should be healing really well, but they couldn't figure out because, Whitney's very particular about like her diets for her dogs and everything. And like Sophia was the only one that couldn't lose weight of her 4 dogs. And she couldn't figure out why. And it was because it was a tumor. So we're really thankful.
Not a tumor.
The dog, her dog, this dog, she's got a lot of dogs, y'all. She's like puppies and pit bulls and parolees or whatever. Like idea. She reminds me of, like that kind of person, like who just she just takes care of dogs, and she's like got this whole like thing. But this dog, she was found she was rescued from the side of the road. And she looks very much like some kind of lab hound mix. Very sweet puppy, very sweet dog.
Yep.
So, it says, okay, would we ever do storage lockers? Probably not. Mostly because the amount of time that it would take to have to clear all that out. I mean, I wouldn't say that I would never try it, but it's not high on my priority list right now.
It'd be fun to do once.
Yeah.
But then when it came time to having to do all the stuff, it's like a totally separate, different than the systems that we have in place. So it would take way more work for us to put it through our supply chain. So it would have to be under a different set of circumstances.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, I'm not like, no, I'd never do it for these reasons. It's not really practical for us, but it would be fun to try.
Yeah.
And then Terry, our live chats are on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yep.
And we do it every Thursday. We will usually schedule it the morning of, or maybe a couple of days before. So you can always set a reminder. And if for any reason we can't do it at that time, we always make it up somewhere.
Yep.
So, okay. Well, guys, it is about that time. And I really feel like this is the hour of the day that goes by the fastest because I really do enjoy hanging out with you guys. I really do enjoy connecting with y'all. So, yeah. Oh, and for those of you, we've talked a little bit about natural living. For those of you who are members, YouTube memberships, keep an eye out. I did an impromptu, I was making some lavender calendula salve for a doula client of mine and decided to make some extra for myself. And I went ahead and just filmed it. It's not very good, but you should look at that on the membership page. It should be up either today or tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Yep.
So
awesome. So unboxing come out on Saturday, and then we have a vlog. The last vlog from our vacay will be up on Sunday, and
then we should be back to normal.
Yep.
After that.
Yep.
So we love you guys. Y'all be safe. TJ, have a good day at work. Wendy, I'm praying for you. Jessica, have a great day. I mean, all of you. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Until next time, guys. Peace.